And we live.
We live.
What's going down, T Subs and T Squad? So, y'all already know why we here. A lot of y'all have been waiting patiently for this moment. Um, and I know me and Scotty have. Is you ready, Scotty?
Listen, when I tell you, I was not expecting us to do this soon, but we here. So listen, like all I gotta say to the people in the chat and the people that's watching us right now, we really do have an interesting show for y'all today. Okay.
Yes.
It's an interesting interview. This is pretty much exclusive type shit. Like this ain't no lies. Like I know that when I first put it out there on my platform that me and Terrance would be interviewing this man, everybody wanted to make sure, okay, is that his real brother? Is that not somebody that's looking for a moment? We know that that's his real brother. We got the
Mm-hmm.
receipts. We got the proof. He made sure we knew everything. I think he already knew that we was gonna ask those type of questions because when he reached out to the both of us, he made sure
Yep.
to come with the receipts, come with old photos, everything. And when I tell you, should you say that, Terrence? Because we got a person that everybody knows that's backing this shit up too.
Exactly. We
I'm
do.
I'm gonna let you say it.
So, without further ado, guys, we may hopefully, I really do hope we have a special guest that may come on to give her side of the story as well, to give her truths, because it is a truth that needs to be heard and needs to be talked about. So, I'm going to introduce you guys to Mr. Jason Hemphill. Yes,
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Thanks for having me.
wonderful. How are you?
I appreciate your time.
Of
I want to thank
course.
you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
So,
your subscribers. Some of you, I'm sorry. I'm in my feelings. I'm telling you, this is real. This is not a fake. My brother really did make up this story.
Before we get into the debauchery, the mayhem, and the mess, one thing that me and Scotty always do is we like to start off by asking a little bit about you, your upbringing, and things of that nature. So, do you mind telling us and the people watching just a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I was born in Phoenix, and my dad, actually Medina's dad, and my mom met here. He was a first round draft pick for the Phoenix Suns. So
Okay.
from there, he played for the Lakers, championship ring in the Portland Trailblazers, and finished his career in Indiana. But about me,
Mhm.
I'm just a regular dude. I just quit my job at Costco last year to sell toys full time. So
Okay.
this is not something I wanted to do. In fact, part of my face, before y'all start making fun of me and shit on here, part of my face is fucking paralyzed. So chill out.
Right. Y'all chill out. We're gonna be nice up here. Well, listen, everybody, all the girls up here saying that you're handsome. This man is married, okay? I ain't got
Okay.
no time. This man is married. Leave him alone.
Right. Like exactly, he married, so
Look,
All right.
the internet was harsh to me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that way. Like that's not
Oh
how.
no,
oh
you
well,
fine. I understand it.
listen, we
For,
I can speak for anything. Me and Terrence both can attest to the internet being harsh, so I understand. We
Yes.
understand more than
so
anybody.
for most
So
people, this has been happening. They've just been watching the show for a few weeks, but this started last year for me. Like I reached out to try the people that say like, why don't you sue him? You can't. There's nobody that's losing money because Medina said what he said.
Hmm.
And the person that he said it about, the untruth, she's not alive, so she can't
Right.
even defend herself. But what the gist of it, what burns me about it is she's a domestic violence survivor. Those in and out of hotels were trying to run from his dad.
Mm.
So for him to get on there and tell the half truth, there,
Hmm.
this man's full of lies. Talking about being a street kid on. The reason I'm doing this is because not what he said so much on the show, it's what what's on the internet that supplements this, that says he grew up here poor. It's disrespectful to the people that really struggle. We grew up very blessed, very blessed. Medina's dad was an NBA championship winner in 1977. That's not an untruth. It's very verifiable. This man started off with a fake age. He won't even tell you his real age. He's listing himself as 36. He's 42. He's about to be 43. Like, this is a manufactured life from the ground up. He's got facts coming that he's from Newark, New Jersey. We've never owned or lived in Newark, New Jersey. That did not happen.
So let me ask you this. When did the troubles between you and Medina start?
Okay. So let me just address something he said in a church. Some woman on the chats said you should leave him alone. I heard, and then I saw her comment, I saw you in his church. Look, Medina's called me a stepbrother, that I came in late. He's my half brother. We have the same mom. That's not how any of that works. Mm-hmm. Medina and I was raised Jason Calhoun until my junior year of high school. When I was 11 is when I found out, and that was when Medina told me that we didn't have the same dad. That's how that story went down. So we've kind of been at odds for a while. Like, we're 5 years apart. So, but we've had amends before. He's stayed with me 5-6 times. It's not like we were estranged. We were talking up until right before this went down. What happened was he went back to my parents before all this show was shot. All you people thinking he has his own place, that's not true. Medina's never owned a home. Never. Or 22 million on IMDb. You don't have a home or a car? Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that. But the truth is,
oh my God.
I'm sorry, I lost my place on what I'm talking about with this Medina shit.
It's okay.
Excuse me. Refresh me where I am. I'm sorry.
You said that it's.
Oh, you were talking about the difficulty. What other things? So the last difficulty that split me and Medina up in 2015, he stayed with me, and he fucked up my bathroom. And I reached out to his dad to complain about it because Medina doesn't have any money, and I was gonna have to pay it. I'm an hourly guy working at Costco, and I wasn't. Look, I didn't want to have to pay that bill, so I reached out to his dad. I didn't ask him for the money, but when he started talking to me, he started like, well, do you have proof? He hits me up with proof. I'm like,
right.
Oh, yeah, never mind. So we don't talk. I never even met Claudia Jordan. I never even met him, not one time while they were dating. I've never met any of the women Medina's dated. So, I mean, apparently there might have been beef on his side, but he stayed with me several times.
Okay, so I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this for the audience because I know that you've had conversations with me and you had conversations with Terrance. So what I'm about to ask, we probably already discussed it already, but since you've started speaking about this, have you been getting like, well, I know you've been getting attacked, but have people been trying to make it sound like you looking for clout or you're jealous of him because he has quote unquote fame? Because when we're talking to you now, it's kind of crazy because it's like, when people see him, they see him on this show and they see him on the Tyler Perry show that he was on. And people think that he may be the breadwinner of your family. So for you to come out and say what
no. We need to stop that right there.
Yeah.
Medina's not the breadwinner of the family. I'll look. I'll scan you in one of those have and have not checks. I'll post that. You can see that Medina can't support Medina with have and have not checks.
Oh no, God.
Yeah. Look, this dude look in 2015 when he left my house.
Mm-hmm.
When he left my house, he left all his pay stubs. I got Tyler Perry scripts. I got I got your laptop, Medina. You're lucky I haven't taken the time to crack it and share what's in there.
Yeah, because if you were anything like me, I would have been did that a long time ago.
See, and look, so what started all this? My wife and I were gonna drive back home, back to Maryland, only Maryland, where they live, where he went to high school, and he crashes back without calling the woman of the house, calling the woman of the house. So I'm on the phone with her because I'm planning the trip. And when this happens, it delays the trip. And she's like, he said not to tell you he's here. Not to tell you he's here. Like, and I just started thinking, why the hell would he say, huh? So I started looking at his Instagram, I started looking at his baby's mama, and noticed that there's no updated pictures on his gram. And I still reach out to him. But after that, when he got there, everything went sideways. My stepmother started going in his room and sent me some screenshots from his journal because nothing was jiving right. This dude was there. He had to borrow money to get home. He had to borrow money. I have it via text. He had to borrow money to get his flight home. And then from there, it was just him living off of them. This is what Medina does. He lives off of people. And what happened was she asked him, when are you going to be gone? He's like, I'm going to put pressure on the network. That's how I know this is bullshit. My mom got sold out for nothing for this show.
And about that, because I know last Thursday's episode, the story that he told, with somebody who doesn't know him, it's like, wow, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Like, they feel bad, they feel horrible, they feel sad for him. And that for you told me that was the straw that broke the camel back for you. For the people in the chat, can you explain exactly, where he got that from and where does the lie in that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That story is alleged. There is no police record of that story. That she did not go to jail that night. That was all alleged. Medina was not present when that happened. He did not witness that event. That did not happen. Now, what did happen? There was mental illness, but there was more domestic violence than that. And man, no. That's not how it went down. And like I said, when we were before this show, no one left the 12-year-old in charge of the 17-year-old. I'm 5 years older than Medina. 5 years older. I apologize, y'all. This is my very first chat.
Oh, you okay?
No,
you okay? Yeah. The reason why we're doing this, you guys, is because I feel as though it's important. I feel as though it's important to really get the truth out because, my mother is dead. And I know I would definitely feel some type of way if my brother made up a whole lie trying to make himself look good, get a check, get sympathy. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? And it needs to come out. I've heard you spoke about physical abuse. Do you know the women that he's actually done that to?
Personally, no, I've never met them, but they extended that out to me when I started. Shit wasn't lining up. It just wasn't lining up. So I reached out to Claudia Jordan, who he dated, and his baby's mom. And then what they told me, look, when I asked Claudia Jordan, do you know who I am? She said, oh, you're the brother Medina takes care of. I was like, what?
Wow.
Now,
Oh.
yeah, that's another blow, a separate blow.
Oh.
But this man has alluded that all my little small businesses that I have, I'm not here to talk about anything I have. But he was showing other people and I funded him. I back him. I'm a silent partner. Meanwhile, he hasn't even talked to me. When my dog died, Medina didn't call. Medina can't tell you my dog's name. You have to look it up on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you got to say, Scotty? Because you look like you got something to ask.
I'm just trying to take it all in because it's like because what I'm getting from this is that because like I said on my original question, like when we looking on the outside looking in, we just see him on TV. You know, whenever people are on TV, people automatically assume they have this and that. And it's just like for him to even like listening to his brother sitting on our platform and he's like, he don't have this, he don't have that. And then when he reach out to Claudia, the story that she gets is, oh, you're the brother you're the brother that Medina takes care of, not knowing that
he's in church calling me a stepbrother. He's in church calling me his stepbrother. This woman said, oh, Medina, I heard you're his stepbrother after he got out of foster care. Like, foster care? Oh no. Look, Medina had less than a year and a half before he had a new mommy. He just didn't like her. That didn't, none of that happened. I'll answer any questions you have. Like,
so when you did reach out to Claudia Jordan, what made you want to reach out to Claudia Jordan?
Because I know my brother. My brother keeps things in compartments. Two parts of his life touch. So that's how he's able to create this backstory, the Medina Islam. His name is Brent Calhoun, Brent Julian Calhoun. That is his birth name. He was born in 1977, not 1983, in Portland, Oregon, where his dad played for the NBA championship team. I'm telling you, the willingness of him to lie, you have to see it in his character. And character is why I'm here. Like, this is sitting here. And if I don't say anything, he'll go higher. He'll go higher. And you know who he's going with. Pork chop.
Oh.
So since you came out and you've, been bringing things up and talking about things and telling people the truth, has Phaedra once reached out to you?
No.
Since all of this has been going on?
Hell, is he even with Phaedra for real?
Yeah.
See, and we stopped communication, and my last message was like, hey, this is going to catch up with you. You should stop this. I tried to stop this. I reached out to my parents who were taking care of him at the time. I asked them to stop this. They could have stopped it by stop funding him. Yeah. No. Phaedra's team hasn't reached out, but yeah.
Lord, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I remember you sending me something that kind of looked like I could be wrong, but it kind of looked like restraining orders or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Medina's
out there right now pumping up women, telling people with mental illness and families with mental illness that are supporting their families through a very hard time. He's rah-rahing them. Medina didn't show up for his mom. That part where he didn't see her again, first of all, that was a lie. He did see her again. In fact, after the alleged situation of the sale of my brother, his dad went back to work. We were with my mom again after that, within 2 days, 2-3 days. And this is documented. This is not something I'm making up. This is from his own father's notes.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
off. Go ahead, Scotty. Go ahead.
Okay, so because and I'm asking you this for the viewers because again we've already discussed certain things.
Sure.
So since you come out, how does other family members how are they reacting to you speaking out against him?
So when this was happening, my aunt on I don't know how you call it, step aunt, my stepdad's sister reached out to me and said, "Oh, we all know it's Medina, how Medina is. Don't worry about it. We know it's a fake." But they wanted me to just be quiet so Medina could come get this check. Because it's not their mom. It's not their mom being dragged. It's not their mom that's her memory's being damaged. This woman was brilliant. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't deserve what this man has done to her. This is the continued abuse. She was on the run. Like the notes, I don't want to bore your subscribers with my father's notes, but everything that he has said on the internet, like some of these lines, I played the villain. That's not an act. That's part of me. I'm crazy. I give my own father advice now. I was a parent before I became a parent. Like, who says this stuff? These aren't from interviews. When you see your mama steal from your bank account. When this stuff happened with my mom, this dude wasn't over 13 years old. He didn't bail her out. That in and out of hotels that he's talking about, that actually was why we were waiting for a custom home to be built. And during that time, we had to move around. The hotel occupancy, we moved around from room to room. That doesn't constitute hotels. When we were running from his father, yeah, there was some long nights. And my mom was in the middle of a mental breakdown. And this is how he chooses to deal with, with all that have and have-nots money. He's not chosen to get any personal private help. He just chose to do this.
Oh yeah, I see your cut, and it's funny because when she hit me up, and I remember telling Scotty this, I said, "Oh, all the Medina family coming out the bushes," because even your cousin told me she came under my comments and she said everything that Medina has ever said was a lie. So I said, "Well, there you have it." I said, "It's other people that was related to this man who said the same thing."
I'm going to just call it 5 visits because I don't remember for sure. I don't want to be a liar, okay? In the 5 visits he's been here, he's not ever spent time with any other member of my mom's family. He's not gone to meet them. I offered to take him. He's not made time. That's the same thing he did. Look, my mom was with me in 1990. She was with me in 95. If you want to if you use Medina's fake age or real age, he could have done something. He's never helped me, not one time. And the 4 times, like I was married. I had my own young family. And I was struggling. This dude could have put down his fake rap career and come help me.
Excuse me, did you say fake rap? So he's never, because let me tell you.
Look, according to my family, this dude's been making it. This dude, according to him, he's been making it or turned down contracts from Usher and all kinds of other people because they wouldn't give him the right deal. Look, even right now, he's a ghostwriter. Nobody can name 3 songs Medina wrote. Nobody can. Look, Pimping All Around the World is what he claims to have written. People get credits. Yeah. His name is not on that credit. It's not on that credit. I hope Ludacris sees this video. I hope he does.
Well, Luda, if you want to get up here and tell your truth that this man lied on your song, you can always come up here and click the link and tell these truths. Because when I first saw Medina, and I saw it was the hip hop edition. And I said, oh, okay, well, I'm confused. Because when I saw him, everybody was like, oh, he was on the Have and the Have Nots. And so I said, okay, well, he not into music and neither is Phaedra. I was confused. And then everybody said, oh, well, no, he ghostwrites. He ghostwrites for a lot of people. And I said, oh, I guess. I mean, I didn't know.
I had never heard of him being a ghostwriter. The only thing I ever known him to do was be Quincy on the Have and Have Not.
That's why there was no before this. There was no reason to address it. This is just like you someone doing something in their room, like just making a garage band record. There's no reason. His thing had less than 300 views. It had been up for years. Wow. It had 17 subscribers before this episode. I don't know what it has now. What I do know is every time I post something up there, the truth, he quickly takes it down.
Oh my. So how did he even become a part of the Haves and Have-Nots? Do you know that?
The man's never told me. He's not like that. He's not like that. He didn't tell me. Like last time I had talked to him during that time, he was slinging fish at Whole Foods.
Wow. According to your cousin, he deleted her. Like, why doesn't he go up for his family? Like, I'm a big family person. I believe in family. And it's just weird that he has no relationship from what I can see.
So in order to keep this lie together, he can't have us on there. He can't have any of us on there. It would timestamp him. You got to keep the lie going. There's no high school pictures for his size. There's no basketball pictures. There's none of this. I begged that Medina get help before this happened. I asked my stepmother to tell him to get help, to lean into my stepdad to get him some help. Don't do this. Don't let this happen. I asked them. Yeah. They fell on deaf ears. You saw the picture I showed you of Medina's dad's room. This room is pink. Mm-hmm. When the show came on and I saw that pink room, I immediately went to I was like, his room is pink. It's posted up on my Instagram. And hey bro, I don't want any money off of this. Not a cent.
Oh, don't worry about. Look, people in the chat, trust me. This man, he isn't looking for any type of clout at all. At all. So please don't disrespect in any way, shape, or form the person that we're interviewing, our guest, because I'm gonna throw your asses out of here. All right, this is not what this interview is for.
His whole dad's side of the family knows about this lie. They've gone along with Medina 36. Medina from Newark, Medina, whatever. They want him to be the one. Like I don't get it. Like at no point, like let me get my text out here.
I think it's easy for people to come up with the idea that you're looking for clout only because he's in a spotlight and you're not. So anytime somebody that's not in the spotlight speaks the truth on someone, that is the first thing they want to yell out is you're jealous or you're this, you're that. But it has to be hard for the people that's not in the spotlight to see them present themselves in a certain kind of way, and it's not what it is. So I can only imagine how you feel watching him on TV, saying the stuff that he said about your mom, saying that he's from here, from there, saying he's this, he's done this, he's this age.
And this it only brings up his clout. It only brings up his money. It only brings up the money on the next show. And disrespectful to the people that are out there really working with their family with mental illness. He opted out. He opted out. At no point did he ever come and say, "Hey, Jason, let's go get our mom." At no point was he in my living room and we were talking about our childhood and the tough times. That never happened. Medina's not that dude. What you'll get is a surfacey smile. If you brush by Medina, you'll be fine. You'll have a very good experience. If you spend any time with Medina, you are in trouble. No, I saw young, skinny, rich dog. No, my mom's mental health was messed up. Like that was real. The selling
that was.
Yeah, the mental health now she did battle mental health. She did battle mental health. There was very tough times. There was, but it was compounded by domestic abuse and a woman that was having a mental breakdown while trying to escape her husband. That's the facts. I'm meeting with my aunt later this week to record, because when it happened, my mom finally let she humbled herself and reached out to her brother and her sister, and they're still alive. So I'm going to record that. My mom's no longer with us, so I can't get that firsthand. She would probably, she would handle Medina herself.
So when we were talking backstage, you was telling us about a lot of the notes that you had. Do you mind sharing with the people in the chat just some of the things that you wanted to point out, like other lies or deceits that came on his part from episode 1 till what just came on last week?
A lot of you guys are just watching him be a corny dude on there. No, that's fine. I don't care about that. It wasn't really until, he was going to ride with Phaedra. I reached out to Phaedra's team so that she wouldn't expose herself to this third error in men. Her brand doesn't deserve a third error in men. But she look, it didn't happen. It didn't even respond. It was not taken seriously. I'm sure she gets lots of messages. But I did do due diligence on that, and I can post those on my Instagram as to what I did to try to stop this show from happening. Like, I don't watch TV, so when I heard this was going to happen, I was kind of at a loss. But yeah, and it's weird to me, like in the comment section, people are coming at me like, "You blood's thicker than water." Yeah. What about my mom? What about what about the third brother? What about the brother that you're lying about, that you said you looked after? What about the older brother? Like I haven't stopped. I haven't stopped crying since the show aired. That little kid that rolled by felt like me. I was the oldest. No one, like I said in the beginning, no one asked the middle child to watch the older children. There was no event where Medina was taken to visit our mom and the other two stayed at home. That didn't happen. It's false. It's a false narrative to bet. Look, the man couldn't even produce tears. Everyone else is over there crying, doing real work. This man couldn't even get it together. He couldn't even get it together. Look, in most of the stuff, he's surfacey. I hate that I trust. Like, you hate that you trust. Trust what? Sammy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be dry. Do you have any questions?
What is okay, so you have another brother besides Medina, right?
Yes. Yeah, so he's
how does he feel about the things that he's been portraying?
So after the falling out last summer, I was cut off. None of the other brothers. So there's 3 of us that are are related biologically, and then there's a fourth brother from the stepmom and my stepdad. So before all that happened, I was talking. Everyone's jiving. I'm getting ready to go back for a visit, and then I haven't spoke to him in regards to it at all. I haven't reached out to him, and I really would like to refrain from saying his name. I don't feel like he needs to. He has a regular life. We all do. This is 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 made lives without saying that. Dropping my wife didn't know this story until Medina came to stay with us. Yeah, she never.
How does your wife feel about hearing all of this? Like, what was her thoughts and takes on that?
That was the same question I was about to ask.
She's been. I shout out to my wife. She's been extremely supportive. Like, she put together this list of all the lies. She's just been there for me 100%. We've been together, coming up on 18 years. So, yeah, this is nonsense. Like, she's seen this dude a couple times. He stayed with us a few times, so she has an experience of this man. Like, the way that Medina exits their home is like, "Hey, man, it's time to go. You've been here a while." Like, when the last time he stayed was supposed to be for 2 weeks, it was over 2 months. That's Medina.
Oh, this is a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I know. I'm sitting here. I have a lot to say, but it's this is my first time doing anything like this. I haven't spoke to anyone in regards to this other than my family.
What I can say, as we're doing this, and I know what I noticed before we even before we even all decided to do this, I will say that it does come across as if you do have a lot of family support on this. And I think that is a good thing that you do have your family to support you on that, because sometimes family won't support
That's
off the rip sometimes, depending on who it is. They don't want to speak against somebody, or they rather just sweep it under the rug. But it looks like everybody.
That's the problem. This has been 20 years. 20 years he's been trying to build this rap career. 20 years everybody's been letting this happen. These would have been little projects that nobody heard. They're no big deal. There's no need to say anything because he ain't doing nothing.
I know somebody in here wanted to know more about the Phaedra thing, but I think you already said what you had to say on that. You don't know much about the Phaedra situation.
As far as what part about the Phaedra situation? Like how it began?
It's either how it began or if they're really dating, because I know I did see somebody say ask him more about Phaedra.
Oh, so the way this lines up, that the story that I told you in the beginning about, so he was laying low at our parents' house waiting for the network to pick him up. When we reached out to Phaedra's camp, nobody knew who Medina was. These two said they were dating in March. They said they met on a dating app in March. That's not supported. Look, pictures from Phaedra and Medina don't start until after August. After August, when I have this, actually I think they're October. But those couple pictures, those staged couple pictures y'all saw, when I reached out to Phaedra's camp, nobody knew who Medina was. When you see it, she's like, "You need to call the office." They tried to redirect me. I was like, my wife's like, "No, we're not calling in the office. Give it to Miss Parks." No, the person who does the posting for Phaedra Parks didn't know who Medina was in August. I just have a hard time thinking that that's real. That's a real relationship. And then that's supplemented by my stepmother saying that Medina is going to put pressure on the network. And D. Williams, Medina's entitled to get his help. He's just not entitled to tell other people's story. He's not entitled to tell my story of watching the kids. He's not allowed to tell the younger brother's story without clearing it. He didn't even call any of us, not one of us. There's been no plan for this. That the pressure that he wanted to put. Look, Medina was picked probably out of a list, out of a hat. I don't know that for sure, but based on what he said, and as far as Phaedra not having her kids around him, I sent that stuff out. I said, don't have your kids around this man. He's not safe. Like when I was doing my research on Medina, I found that restraining order, and I got a copy of it from a very close source to Medina. That's how I got it. I have more stuff. I'm sorry to be boring for your audience. I'm trying to keep.
You ain't boring me.
I'm trying to keep from dragging Medina's his mom into this and doing real long-term harm. That's not my goal here. My goal here is to stop this man from hurting other women and lying on my mom. I do have objective, and I am pissed for the people that are on the board.
The link that I just put in, S. Anderson. Do you mind if your cousin come up here with you?
No.
I really feel like you should have some support so you can be a little bit more comfortable with telling your truth.
I feel like I wanted to get my wife for a second. I was like, oh man.
I mean, she can come on too. If whatever way help you feel more comfortable, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's really up to you because we do want you to be comfortable. We do want you to feel like, you're supported, even though me and Terrance both support you in telling your story. But I know it'll be even better if you had like family or somebody like that that's near and dear to you that will come on and support. Because all we want you to do is just be comfortable enough to give your side. I know it's already hard enough for you to do it, and this is your first time. But like I told you in the DMs, we got you. So whatever you need to do to be supported, we got it. So S. Anderson, the link that Terrance just put in, just click on it, and
Thanks,
it'll go.
Yeah, I'll see you when you come backstage, and I'll click you on. Oh, here she go.
Oh,
okay. She's a little more adept at this stuff than me. She's a little more.
Hey,
cousin. Hey, how you doing?
You gentlemen.
Thanks, cousin.
Oh, girl, you look over it already, child.
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
You gentlemen.
Oh, girl, you look over it already, child.
Well, it's hold on, let me go get my earphones and my mic so I can really hear.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey, hon, can you come in and pull up a chair?
Oh, plug this on in here. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Thanks, cousin. I appreciate you. I love you.
Okay, so since you're in here now, I guess I ask the first question. I think it's the same question Terrance is gonna ask. It is basically, what are your feelings about this? Because we're not even in y'all family, and we are like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I can only imagine what y'all dealing with. So, what is your take on this whole situation?
Pardon me? Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, well, since you're here now, what is your take on this whole situation with with Medina, Jason, like, how do you feel about it? Because we've been looking at your comments, and we just ready to hear what you have to say in regards to it.
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
I'm talking to the other one, to Ms.
Sherry?
Anderson.
Okay, so whew, my take on it. I feel as his first cousin that the fact that he never even wanted to meet us when he came down here, I don't like the fact, it's cool that he's on the show. I don't like the fact that he's lying about my aunt and the situation and everything that happened. I feel like if you're gonna put that type of information out there, that you should be honest. You should tell the truth, because I feel like hold on one second. I don't know why I'm echoing like this. Okay. So as I was saying, like, if you put information out there like that, you have to be honest. You have to tell the truth. And he's not being honest. He's not telling the truth. I mean, there's so much more he could have said. Like, he could have told the truth about the situation between his father and my aunt. I think people would have accepted him and embraced him more, instead of just putting it out there like she just up and abandoned them because of her mental illness. I think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. And to see my cousin hurting, I hate to see him hurting like that. He's my cousin. We're like brothers and sisters. I don't think it's fair that he should be hurting and having to go through these lies, and it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Mocha Berry asked down there, is it true that's an alleged story? That's an alleged story, and there's no police report, there's no documentation. Now, what I will say is it came from a time where a man was trying to avoid $6,500 worth of child support a month. In today's time, that's over $15,000. So that story came out. That story was circulated, but it was people going through a divorce also.
Well, she asked if she was trying to sell your brother for drugs.
No, our mom was not. No, absolutely. In fact, growing up, I had no peer pressure at all. Like, my mom was that person that that stuff went right by me. Not him.
Okay. I'm going to just jump, because I know Medina, and I've been married to this man for 18 years. Mm-hmm. So we've been together 18, married 10. But so here's the facts. Medina did not grow up poor. I always make fun of my husband. He did not grow up poor. He did not grow up. No, he definitely did not grow up on the violent streets of Jersey, wherever the hell.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
We never owned a home there.
Yeah. His mother, who I met. So Medina, when you say, oh, she was checked into mental hospital and I never saw her again. Really? Because I met her 3 times. And one of the times she was with us, and yes, she was struggling. Yes, that is true. And yes, she left. But I want to paint a picture here, because as a woman, and first of all, I'm not white, not that it matters, but I am Hispanic, and so whatever. But as a woman,
say that, cousin.
Right? Like, so if you have a man, and I'm not a black woman, but I'll speak from a Mexican woman. If I'm a Mexican woman and I live and I'm in the 70s, 80s, and I live in a upper class, brand new white community, right? And my husband is an Ivy League master's mathematician, MBA player, and he starts hitting me. You think I'm gonna go tell the neighbor? Think I'm gonna call the police? Like, right. So And then no one believed her.
No one.
And here's the thing.
Alone.
Not just that no one believed her. My father, who is her brother, who is now deceased as well, rest in peace, Daddy. He went down there. I remember this as a kid. Him and my aunt. They have another sister named, I'm just gonna say Auntie P. They both went down there. I remember this clear as day. And I was asking my mom, you know, how come we're not going? How come we can't go? And she would only say that they're going to handle business. But years later, here it is now, we're adults. And, you know, I'm asking her a lot of the questions, a lot of what happened, what went on. When my dad and my aunt went down there to check on my aunt, Medina's father told them that he wasn't putting his hands on her, that he grabbed her one time. But in fact, he was actually physically abusing her. That's what happened. And if you take a person who has a tight-knit family and you move them all the way across, we're in Arizona. This is where they were initially. And you move her all the way across from her family. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna feel like she has nobody. I know this from experience myself. I went through an abusive relationship. So if you separate a person from their family, they're not gonna wanna reach out. One, they're gonna be embarrassed because they're not gonna wanna tell anybody what's happening to them. There's so much around it that it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
She went to
it breaks my heart that my cousin is hurting over this. It breaks my heart that it's his brother who's putting these lies out there about, you know, my aunt, his mom. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because this was a good woman. And when I say a good woman, this was a good woman. This was a woman, she had her kids in activities, doing all types of things. If you beat on a woman constantly, even if there's mental illness in the family, it may not come out. It may come out in other ways in her creative side. I believe that's what was happening in the beginning. But if you separate her and now you're beating on her too, now it's going to come out in the form of a severe mental illness. And if you're not helping her, you're gaslighting it, you're going to make that mental illness 10 times worse.
And
how do I know
the point?
that?
That mental illness was going on during the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, the thing about it, like in the other lies that Medina says, like he doesn't say this stuff on the show, but when you go to look up Medina, all these other lies support what he said. The whole part about being, oh, my mom tried to sell me, like.
He said, oh, we were homeless in a train station so long, I got newspaper print on my sweatshirt. Like, what, dude?
That never happened.
When you were living on the beach? Like, I get it. This is a traumatic story, and Jason and I have talked about it for a long time, obviously, before this happened. This is a traumatic story by itself. And what Medina should have done, my mother left. My mother suffered from mental illness issues, but thankfully, my family had the means to handle, like, this could be handled so different. And even if he did want to work on himself on marriage boot camp, he didn't have to pretend to be poor. It's disrespectful for people who did grow up in that struggle.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very much so.
No, I appreciate your support.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of fans out there, and you guys love Medina, and he came off as this cool, innocent, humble type of gentleman. Yeah. But you know, the facts are the whole show was a sham in itself. You know, there was only one married couple on the whole show.
Oh, hold on, Sherry. Don't steal their job. Don't steal their review.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, listen, me and Scotty been saying that since day one. Trust me. We've been eating them up for the fake falsehoods and everything, but it was always something that just rubbed me the wrong way about Medina and Phaedra's relationship. It was just like I can't buy into that.
Yeah.
Look, I can't believe people are still attacking me when they saw the kiss like I saw the kiss. That chick moved her face because they have never kissed before, and they've not kissed once since. And you still like still going off on me on the internet. Like, I can't believe it. Like, is it possible? Like,
go ahead, cousin.
No, I was just like, is it possible that it's a lie?
And I just want to say to Medina's fans too, because obviously I've been seeing the boards and people talk about my husband, and this isn't just about lies that he told on the show. Like it's not just about that. It's about Medina uses this fake story way before the show. Medina uses the fact that he grew up on the streets, which he didn't. Medina uses the fact that I've heard so many stories of he slept in the Atlanta airport. Well, that was because you were disrespectful after 18 of your parents and you had to live on your own. Yeah. But that wasn't because...
Claudia Jordan, if you go to my post on my Instagram, you'll see what Claudia Jordan says too. Like, this is a habit of behavior. This is a pattern of behavior that has gone on from Medina. And that restraining order I sent you from 2003, where he slapped that woman. Yeah, this physical nature came from our childhood. The part that he should have been working on, it should have been his truth, was him putting hands on women.
Yeah,
that should have been his truth.
Right.
That part
so he uses this fame to get money, to get parts, rather than talking about doing the work. And in all his interviews, he's like, you got to work. You got to work. I've been married. Like I said, I've been with this man for 18 years. I assume he worked when he memorized some scripts on have and have nots. But I guarantee there's going to be women that come out. There has to, because everyone that I've talked to that dealt with him says the same stories.
Jessica
the fucked
Young.
up towels.
He wasn't probably dyeing his hair when he was young.
Yeah, probably not.
Look, they probably didn't know I was his brother because my elbows aren't ashy.
Okay.
Mine are. Look, everybody checking their elbows now. I love it.
I have a question though, because I'm trying to understand the family dynamics. Your name is it Sherry?
My name is Sherry Anderson. My father was Tim Anderson, and Joanne was his baby sister. There were 6 of them. There was my Uncle Michael, my Uncle Russell, who's the oldest, then my Uncle Michael, and my father.
Sherry. I don't think they need all those.
Oh, well,
but there's a lot of us. This side of the family, Medina doesn't know this whole side of the family. This whole side of the family is strange to him, and he wanted it that way.
That's where I was going with it, because I wanted to know, like, because when she said earlier on, when she first came on, she was like, he never wanted to meet them. And I was like, so y'all first cousins and y'all don't really know each other? So I was trying to understand that dynamic, because I only have one first cousin, just one.
Okay, so let me explain it. So when my Auntie Jody was younger, she met Corky. They got married. They lived in California, Oregon. We used to go back and forth all the time when he played for the Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers, to go and visit them in Los Angeles and also in Portland, Oregon. Then, like I said, when they moved across the country on the other coast, if you have 6 kids, you're not going to be able to go visit your sister as much as you want to, and you're taking care of 2 more children, which were cousins in our household. So at that point, my dad kept in contact with his sister. But as far as us being cousins, we were still kind of, kids then. So it was kind of, hit or miss, and then around, I think 16, you moved back here, Jason, about 16 when he moved back.
That was my senior year of high school. Yeah, senior year of high school.
So that's when we got Jason back into our lives. And then I think we all had this family dinner. It was around the time my sister passed. And so that's why there's some gaps missing there. And It was, decisions that the adults made, not that us per se made. Does that, if that makes it clearer for you, huh?
Yeah.
I understand that. I totally understand that. Sometimes it is the adults that keep not necessarily they try to keep the kids away, but sometimes the kids can suffer not having those relationships with their cousins because of the adults. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to understand that. Well, I'm like, what? But I get it now.
Okay.
So my mom, my biological dad split up when I was 2, and then my mom and Medina's dad got together, and he went from Phoenix Suns to Lakers to Portland Trailblazers. But that's the other thing about the Medina story. Like, as you unravel the story, he's saying he grew up he was born and raised in Newark until he went to Morris Brown. But it immediately unravels when you know that he was born in 1977 and his dad played for the championship team. It immediately unravels. And then from there, he gets transferred to the Indiana Pacers. So how did you get born in Newark? And then there's this paper trail that shows you in Indiana, that shows you in Reston, Virginia, that shows you in Toms River, New Jersey. These are all places that we live. These communities are not, these are upper tier communities. We had private passes to the pool in the 80s. Like, my friends from Virginia, they're going to come on here and they're going to see this. And they're going to be like, what? Your brother did that to your mom? Your mom was brilliant. Like, my mom helped me start a candy selling business when I was in 7th grade. That she doesn't deserve this to be dragged. Because look, he could have gave the same powerful thing and left off his guess at what diagnosis she has. First of all, I don't believe that's her diagnosis. I don't believe a 12 or 13-year-old looked at his mom's diagnosis. I don't believe that.
Right.
And even if he did, what business did he have to tell it?
Right.
Look, we have laws in place, HIPAA laws, to protect people's privacy. He could have got the same thing saying her mental illness. He could have got the same exact effect. But he didn't want that. He wanted dramatic. But where he went too far, if you watch the show again, he starts feeling himself and he shifts. He shifts and he goes, yeah, I had to look out for my little brother. That's when he goes too far, because mathematically, he is younger than that brother that he's looking out for. Mathematically, he's 2 years younger than that dude. So he couldn't have looked out for him. And nobody said for the 12-year-old to watch the 7-year-old, I'm going to go. That didn't happen. But what did happen is his dad went right back to work after all this stuff. And we continued to stay with my mom, continued to stay with her until for almost another 4 more months. 4 more months. So if that incident that he speaks of, that sale happened, and then why did his dad go back to work? Why didn't we stop and handle the family situation? Because that's not what happened.
I think it's just sad.
And at this time, I was 17. Like, it's not like I was a young kid. I was 17.
Right. Right. It's terrible because, like, and I'm gonna try real hard on Thursday not to go in and laugh. I promise y'all I am. But if I do, y'all know where it comes from, because I lost my mom in 2018. And that was really hard for me and my brother. And I could not imagine my brother getting on TV saying something like that and I not go to jail. Because it's like, there should be some stuff that should just be off limits. Like, I don't care for a check, clout, whatever. It's not cool.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's where he should have been. I feel like that's where it should have been handled, at that level, even in your personal growth. But I'm telling you, this IMDb says $22 million, and you're on here talking about your mama. You're throwing your mom under the bus, and it says you got 22 million. You don't need the money, if that's true.
That's
right.
I don't know. Right. Mocha, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about his sexuality. I can't speak to that. I told you I've never seen it. He doesn't bring me around women. because then there'll be conversations and those lies will get tripped up on. He's very careful to keep his stuff separate.
Mm-hmm.
Very careful. Like even I'm grateful that Claudia Jordan I reached out to her on Instagram, and that's how I said enough things. I did the same thing I did with you. I proved who I am when I came out. And she started telling me about their relationship. I asked her to tell me as much as she was comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you look on my page, you can see she's gotten real comfortable. She's said some stuff now. My brother put hands
I
on
saw
her.
it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Look, I'll get you those pictures over. This man can't be out promoting women. He can't be out promoting mental illness. He can't be a spokesman, is what I'm saying to you people. He can't be a spokesman for this stuff. When it was time to take care of his mom, he said, no, thank you. And then you just heard him say he never saw her again. No, that part is right. He never saw her again by choice. By choice.
Yeah.
Look, T I'm sorry for your mom and your loss, but imagine losing her really slow, fading out on you. That whole time she was homeless. She was doing a lap between Arizona, California, and New Mexico. Arizona. So this cousin that I'm talking to, she had a cycle where she would see her. That cycle stopped, and that's how we knew something was wrong. No, he doesn't have 22 million. His pictures will show you someone else's 22 million. That woman doesn't like Medina either. But you know what? I didn't ask her to come and expose herself. Look, and she reached out to the network on my behalf and with her own power. She's a very powerful woman, and it still happened. So it wasn't like I don't have the legal resources to sue this man to stop this from continuing. I don't have connections.
Plus, it's not only that. It's like he went on this show, so everything he said before that all of a sudden has now clout or whatever you want to call it. So him saying that he was a foster kid, grew up on the street, homeless, in and out of shelters, train stations. That's not true. It's not true.
No, and when those hotels he was talking about, those were the Hyatt. That was the Hyatt.
Oh God.
No. Those are Hyatt. Look, Medina comes from a father that wrote that his mom stole money from a credit card. His dad actually wrote that and sent it to me. That you can't steal from your wife. No, you can't. She's on the credit card or she's not.
That's why we have so much proof that she was still around, because she was trying, even in her mental state, she was trying to file for a divorce. We already have in writing that his dad was up for a minimum of $6,500 temporary child support. So she was trying to get out. She was trying, and she just couldn't hold it together. But every time she called, and I have the notes, like who she talked to, what time she called, who was there, because this man was trying to cover himself. I have the notes. So the fact that Medina's like, oh, she got checked into a mental hospital, I never saw her again. The story's sad enough, Medina. The story's sad enough. You don't need to add to it. Just tell the truth. Your truth.
Never mind. I was just about to
have no receipt. The man said he don't.
First, let me just say this.
I don't know who Kendra's. Have no receipt. The man said he don't know the name. The man, stranger to him. I don't know what that is.
He has. I don't know if they're trying to say that you don't have receipts, but if that's what they're trying to say, that's a lie. Because me and Terrance both have receipts.
Look,
we don't have everything, but we have some stuff, and no. So we're not even gonna do this.
Look,
yeah, we're not gonna do this. We ain't got a lot of kick it.
Yeah, Phaedra, you have any problems with this? That's your man, right? You're a lawyer, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Do your research, baby girl. Do your research.
Bring it.
Yeah, she. Look, we won't say anything that's not true, and I have it all backed up.
And after my mom,
He's proved his income. Look,
we
hey
provide
Jessica,
pictures too.
hey, hold on, Jessica. He proved his income. I'll show you a text that shows his stepmom being mad that he's borrowing money for a flight to get home, to crash in her basement.
I think that's a troll. What were you saying,
Look,
Pardon me?
I said,
I
what
will
were you
tell
saying?
you.
Y'all were overlapping. Because I think you said something about pictures or something like that. That's the last thing I heard you say.
Well, no, I was just reading the comments and people saying people's families lie every day. I just wanted to dispel something. First of all, there are pictures of, us when we were kids, pictures that my mom has of them when they were kids. Can't get to them right now because she's in the process of moving, but there are pictures. But I just wanted to say this to your audience, like, we don't want nothing from this man. We don't need no money. We don't need none of that from this man. We don't want no fame. We don't want no clout. What we do want is we want him to tell the truth on God. That's what we want. And I'm trying to be real classy here, but some of y'all's comments got a sister really wanting to come out her ninja bag, but I'm not, because I'm on these gentlemen's platform. But I'm gonna tell you something. My cousin, he doesn't have a reason to lie. He's not looking for anything. He's not jealous. He has his own house. He don't need none of that. He wants the truth to be told about his mama. Facts, real truth.
That's it.
And if y'all can't understand that, then maybe y'all should hop up off of this right now, and go do some research and then hop back on. Because you can go to his page on Instagram and see all this stuff. It's factual. Nobody has to lie on anybody for any type of clout. First of all, I don't even like people. Let's just get that out in the open. I do not like people. So me being on here is only in support of my cousin, because I don't like people. I don't like people because of people like you and the comments y'all making, because y'all don't want to do no real research. Y'all just want to listen and then add your little comments without having facts to back them up. Well, the fact is that he's telling the truth. This is his brother. And this is some real stuff. And it's very hurtful for our family. This is not a game. Okay, I'm done.
So all of the family, speaking of the family, all of the family feels this exact same way about it. Like, do they even watch the show anymore?
Probably not. I'll be asking all the other cousins, have y'all watched this show with our cousin on it? Have y'all watched this show? And all of them be like, nope, we don't watch that foolishness.
They don't watch because Medina's never, they don't know him. They know of Medina. Medina's never personally, he doesn't reach out. He's not that person. You'll get a call from Medina if he needs a place to stay. If Medina needs $100, look, don't make me get my iPhone 4 out. Don't make me get my iPhone 4 out and screenshot the shit out of this thing. I'm not playing. This man has never been good.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to prove nothing to these people on here. You've already proven to these gentlemen on this platform. And if they thought this was a whole bunch of mess and some BS, trust me, we'd be off their platform a long time ago. I could see he don't take no mess, Scotty, or what's your name, baby?
Real T.
Terrance.
Terrance. Yeah.
He
look like he don't play.
No, that man don't play. That's actually why I felt very comfortable coming and talking to you, Terrance. Like, I appreciate. I want to say again, thanks, and thanks for letting my family come on here to make me feel a little more comfortable on my first ever.
No problem at all. That's what this was for. I wanted the truth to come out because as how me and you've been talking, and I honestly felt like, yeah, he a little monster. I don't really know how I feel about
that's
people supporting him. And
if you can stomach sitting through his sonograms video, he tells you that he's gonna do this. Like, it pretty much sketches out his lying, like what kind of person he is. Like, and if you still want to mess with him, like, consider this a public service announcement for Medina. If you mess with Medina and then you still get hurt, remember you heard it. You were warned. This man is, look, companies, don't mess with this man.
What the old folks say, forewarned is foretold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all I can really say is this right here in regards to what everybody's saying. If we at any given moment felt like this was some BS, we wouldn't even be here. It's just the fact that he came with so much stuff, and not to mention when Claudia Jordan came forward and even asked, when is this airing? I want to watch all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, this got to be true, because you do go through things and be like, okay, well that's his side, that's their side, and there's truth. But then it's like when you got him speaking up, and then not only do you have just the brother speaking, but then you have cousins speaking, and then you got people like Claudia Jordan speaking and giving her story as to what everybody is not lying at this point. And I feel like nobody really has a reason to make up anything about him like that. So it's like,
that's just it. Like, that family wanted me to be quiet. Like, I'll post the post my aunt sent before all this went down. Just calm down, because I started this campaign last summer. I started putting up posts last summer on my Instagram, and people were like, hey, what are you talking about? You look crazy right now. And my wife was worried about me because I was going off. And because of that, I said, you know what? You're right. No one knows who this dude is. No one knows who this dude is yet. I'm just gonna wait. And then, you know what? Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll come out and tell his truth. I'll wait. Because maybe there's a chance that he's really working on himself. But what you heard was him telling the story of my younger brother being sold. And that's not allegedly being sold. Let's be clear. There's no paperwork on that. Let me go again. No paperwork, no police report, no jail time.
And she was around for several months.
And then
after.
left with the kids again. So that's what I'm saying. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent that he came out there. But the other part of that story, that was our younger brother's story. That was our younger brother's story. And he shouldn't have been telling that shit out there at all. Because that dude's not that way. He's not that way. He's a quiet man. I'm a quiet man. This look, the reason I went silent is because I've never done this before. I've never had to do this. I never thought one day I would have to go online to go move against my brother. Like that, I don't have training on this. But you know what? I knew he might do it. I knew he might do something like this based on his project. Look, him expressing himself in his music, when it was just his music and it wasn't going anywhere, that's no different than a journal. I'm not to go in there and correct that. I don't need to tell him that didn't happen. That's a journal. I got one here. Look, got Clint. These are my stories. This is how I work through it. I spent lots of money to go to counseling, to become a better man. This man chose to skip it, just like he chose to skip the acting lessons. He chose to skip those things.
Child.
I mean, it never needed to happen this way. Like, even my post today said, you can still get help. Look, he'll never be close to me again, but he could still get help because he has a young child. He needs to do something.
Yeah.
How many kids does he have?
Just the one that I know of.
Just one?
There's other alleged issues that I'm not going to speak against, or on. But hey, I bet you Atlanta does though. I bet you get some Atlanta heat.
Yeah.
Medina, you need to start doing right by these cheering. If they your cheering, you need to do right by these cheering. Now, I don't play with that either.
I just feel like at the end of the day, with you speaking out, I just feel like at the end of the day, it's more so about the principle. Like, I never had a parent to pass. So I can only imagine how you feel with your parent passing away, and then you have someone that's your own brother speaking against them in a light that's not factual.
Let me
Like,
be clear. And our mom passed away having been homeless. After this situation, our mom lived on the streets. She lived on the streets. Like, after the divorce, she was left penniless. His dad left her penniless.
Wow.
She reached out to friends and other college friends for support, but she lived on the streets. My mom, if you saw her, looked
Yeah, you
like
would not know.
She was so broken.
She was broken, but hey, you wouldn't know.
She was still beautiful.
Yeah,
You
no,
wouldn't
I'm
know.
just saying her spirit, it was broken. You wouldn't know that she was going through what she was going through because she kept herself together. She did do that. I can still smell the smell. Remember I was telling you about the perfume? Yeah. Yeah, you would never know that she was going through that because she kept herself up, but her spirit had been broken, you know?
There, someone asked me if he was dicking everybody down in Atlanta. Look, there's some rumors, alleged rumors. Look, Miss Jordan, like I told you when I talked to her, she had some tea that she spilled too.
Some of the tea matched.
Some of the tea matched some other tea that I had read on another message board. But again, this dude is not good enough to talk about my mama like this. I'm telling you, he's not. This is the continued abuse of my mom. She doesn't deserve this. She did her best. She lost it during a divorce. She lost it. She had a mental breakdown. And that alleged story never needed to be told to make it juicy for marriage boot camp. These people fabricated this show.
That's why I feel it's important too for people to tell their children, truths. You should tell your children truth. Even if your truth is shameful, you should tell your children your truth. You should not sugarcoat by any means, because when you sugarcoat, you mess them up. You might be leaving out something that's vital for them to make sound decisions as an adult, but to leave those things out. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I get Medina being hurt and having feelings about how
but there's
losing
better
your
ways
mom.
to handle that.
Yeah, no, losing your mom is a big deal. But we all went through it. There's 3 of us, and you went on there like you were the only one, but no one else. My wife of 18, we've been together 18 years. She didn't hear the story until Medina came and said it. Medina came and said it. I didn't. The story, our childhood is bad enough by itself. It never needed any help. No help from Medina. He could have just told it. Or he could have actually sat down and asked his older brother what happened. That's never happened. Not one time.
And I just want to reiterate, like I said before, what got me, Medina's lied for a really long time. But when I saw comments off of his page and some of the stuff like, hey, Medina, my mom was mental illness too. My mom lives next door and I take care of her and my siblings. That is, mental illness it's a beast. It's a beast on all different levels. And for him to pretend, just continue to love her. That's what he said. Just keep loving her. Really, Medina? Because she called and you didn't want to talk to her. She stayed with us.
It's okay, cousin.
And we needed help to take care of her because mental illness
go get
is
yourself
hard.
together and come back, Jay.
Yeah.
Mental illness is hard. So for him to that's the part that probably it's hard to rate, but that's probably one of the biggest things is when I saw true people that were saying, thank you for sharing this. My family too. Just like the me too. Me too, me too, me too. And he's like, me too. And he's not.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He never saw her again after she left, which was several months after when he said. But that was by choice. That was by choice.
I'm in agreement with you, Irene. When I saw
He
that
didn't even
this
take her
morning
call.
as well,
He didn't even take her call. He didn't even take her call again. Now, I don't judge that. He was a child. But what I do judge is you getting on TV as a grown fucking man and saying that shit. Saying that hurtful shit about our mom for no fucking reason but a paycheck because you won't work. You won't do the actual work. The stuff you said you do, the stuff you said you do, actually do that shit.
Yeah.
Do that shit.
right.
And I want to be clear on this. She left when he was young, 10, 11, whatever age he's giving. When she came back, when we saw her, when she came and stayed with us, he was an adult. So this isn't a child making this decision. This is an adult making this decision, and still chose not to talk, still chose not to help. So
this successful movie star never got his money together and said, "Let's go get our mom."
That lifts people up. Yeah.
He never said, "Let's go get our mom."
Never.
Not one time.
Don't cry, Jay.
I understand. Like I told you, it couldn't have been. I definitely get it. I understand the hurtfulness because it's like
this is what drives me crazy, to see him like that, to see a person come from all of that, just to see them be taken through it all over again. That bothers me. And then the comments on the Instagram, like he did something so great. Yeah, dude, you walked away from your mom who had mental illness. Like you were embarrassed of it or some shit. Like me, I have a mental illness. Like I said, it runs in our family. It you know, it's the truth. It is what the fuck it is. It runs in our family, you know, and there's no hiding from it. There's no dancing around it. For me, I accept it. I accept it wholeheartedly, 100%, because that's who God made me to be. And to not accept it would be to not accept myself. But I love me some Sherry.
I know that's right, honey.
You know, and you know, I've been through some things. Like I was telling my cousin this morning, you know, there were some things that I relayed to both of them this morning that I had never relayed, just so he would know. You know how you get people sometimes that say, I know what you're going through, I know what that is, but they really don't know. But I know, not only do I suffer from mental illness, I was in an abusive relationship for 3 years of my life. I've never seen my father hit my mother in my life. Never. They were together for 49 years. I never seen it. But once I got into this relationship, I did not know how to get out. You know why? Because fear is crippling. It is very crippling. If you don't, how should I say? If you don't understand that the tactics a person is using to keep you there is fear. Just like, think about it now, just like with the COVID thing. Fear has everybody just stand still in place. You understand what I'm saying? Fear can have you doing things that you wouldn't normally do because you are in fear of. So that, you know, that was the stance that she had taken, you know. She was fearful of a lot of things, you know. She doesn't have her family. Who does she reach out to? I can't reach out to my friends and my colleagues that I went to college with, because in a person's mind that is being abused mentally and physically, you feel like you're less than. You don't even feel like you're the same person that everybody knows you to be. You understand? Because it's being stolen and ripped from you. We're not on here to bash Medina. We're on here because if you're going to tell the truth about my aunt. Tell what a great mother she was, because she was that. She was definitely that. Tell how, you know, She had him and his brothers in modeling. My cousin Jason, nobody knows this, but I do. He was one of the first Black children on a cornflakes box. My aunt did that for her kids because she wanted them to be successful. And when she was doing that for him, she was the kind of woman, she reached out to my dad and asked my dad, could me and my sister model? But because my dad was so protective, he was like, no, we couldn't model, because of the things that go on in the industry.
Right.
But you see what type of woman she was. She, even though she had it, she was still trying to bring her family along with her. There was never any division due to us not loving her, her not loving us. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this shit is hurtful. When I see them two hurting, it breaks my heart. I'm their older cousin. And I just feel like as a family, no matter what, good, bad, indifferent, you're supposed to stick together. But, from a person who's raising you, and they're raising you and loving you with money instead of real love, and they're not nurturing you, this is the outcome. Sad but true, but this is the outcome. Right. You see my cousin Jason, humble, solid, down to earth. We're just normal, everyday, down to earth people. That's all we are,
Just listening to you talk about how your aunt endured domestic abuse and how she was pretty much isolated and how it was fear that kept her there. The only thing that I could think of is my mother. And I've spoken about this on my own platform. And I'm only going to say this just for a minute because I'm not going to make this about me. But I honestly everything that you said, it sounds like my mother. My mother doesn't have like a mental illness or anything like that, but she was in a domestic violence situation for over 20 years. I'm 31. This man was in my life from age 4 to 26. So that's all my life. So people can sit up and they can say whatever they want about a woman that's in a abusive relationship. The first thing that they can say is leave. It's not that easy to leave.
It's not. Been there, did that. It's not. You can
It's
have
not
an
that
order
easy
of
to
protection.
leave.
And even though you have an order of protection, you can call the police 1,000 times.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
No, Entangle be he's chasing the bag. he gonna get right back. You're hurting the bag with all these emotions and feelings. Look, dude, when you evolve into a full-grown man, you'll realize that the money doesn't mean shit unless you have someone to celebrate it with.
Amen.
Okay? When you grow up and you find yourself a good woman, you'll realize the formula is actually spending as much time with the person you love, not at the job that pays for the stuff you want. I'm
That's
sorry
right.
you don't understand that, young man.
Oh.
Get your shit together, though.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's people don't understand it unless they live it. So, just listening to you, I'm not an emotional person at all, but I could feel it because I seen it. I grew up on it. So I understood what you're saying. Like the fear, it takes a woman so many times before they decide that, okay, this is it, I'm going to go. It may take decades before they do it. But
that's exactly
at some point, they'll do it. Because, like I said, my mother was with my ex-stepfather now, from 1993, and she finally left in 2015.
Amen.
So that's most of my life. Yeah. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So that splitting up started in 1979. Like that breaking up, that and they didn't end up splitting up until 90. So us, the kids went along that tour. That part is real. That part of what Medina could have said, that's real. and he should have used that. But what he witnessed and what he repeated, that was his issue to talk about. But it's so fraudulent to get up here and just to leave a half truth, to leave people wondering. And now I got to read the message boards. My kids are grown.
Hold on one
My
second.
kids are grown. They can read. They were probably watching this show because this is their uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they shouldn't see it just a lie. And that's what you see on the message boards is so that the internet being forever has an asterisk next to it with the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you too for giving my husband a space to say his story, because that's all he wanted.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm just gonna call you Ogre at the bottom. I would love for them to come on here, but let me tell you how they're gonna play this out, because this is a real simple game. They're gonna be like, hey, we were paying his bills. We were paying his bills and we cut him off. I'm gonna show you that that's what's gonna happen. And then Medina's gonna try to bring up some shit about, oh, well, my brother smokes weed. Okay, but apparently he forgot his own backup lie over here on his own lie, where he says he sold drugs.
Ooh.
So which is it? You're offended that I've smoked?
You're
a drug dealer.
Weed's not a drug. Weed's not a drug.
Well, yeah.
Damn sure ain't. I'm a registered nurse. I know it ain't. It ain't.
It ain't no drug.
Look, I've had my card, man. Thank you, Coy. Appreciate you.
Well, we know Phaedra nor Medina will be coming on here. They would never do that. So
Them spirits ain't coming on my damn channel. I guess they gonna come on yours.
no, I know Phaedra would never come on mine. I drag her too much. She'll never
They ain't
come
gonna
on
do nothing but get read, so it wouldn't be an interview. And I like to stay professional.
Hey, we Scotty, we haven't watched that many of your shows. We're gonna go back and watch your reviews and comment, and we enjoy your show.
Yeah.
T,
Yes,
you know we love
yes,
you. We
definitely.
we will be supporting you. I think we're headed into the finale, so we'll see what these people say.
I'm curious to see about the lie detector.
Yeah, like.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Hey, this dude might get electrocuted on national TV. I'm telling you, like a large moth in the
Like a
right
moth
in
to a
the
flame.
Yeah, right.
He says he's crazy, so we'll see how crazy it comes out in the lie detector. Because I'm like, this is going to prove if he's really crazy or not.
See, and the thing is, I don't even think I think he believes his own.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it comes out positive, don't worry, we got paperwork.
Yeah,
And you know what?
All the people that are saying, well, this is a lie. I still got paperwork. I still got.
Yeah,
Once it's in writing,
and never
you
forget,
own that.
paperwork speaks for itself. Yeah, that black and white, it never lies, baby. It never lies. Whether you snitching in the courts or you talking about your family, paperwork speaks for itself. I'm a real one. You better believe that.
Okay.
I love it.
All righty then.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to go watch you.
All right, baby. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
Bye, Irene. I'll
Bye,
call you
Shay.
later. Love you.
Bye, baby. Ciao. Well,
Sorry,
we
bro.
have been up here for going on almost 2 hours, you guys. So we are gonna end this. Scotty, is there anything you want to say before we get a closing remarks and a benediction?
Well, I really don't have anything else to say in regards to this whole story at this point because I feel like he has told a lot. I can better get my words out. I can honestly say that you can't judge a person based on a role that they play, and it's always this right here pretty much proves the fact that it's very much easier to just tell the truth, because if you get out in public and tell lies, people that gets on public platforms, this could be TV, this could be social media, people fail to remember that there's people that know them in real life. and know their real story. So the moral of the story is it's easier to tell the truth than it is to just tell a
You're
fucking lie.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You all have a blessed evening.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry, is there anything you want to let the people know?
No, I was just here really for my cousin. That's all. But I'm a wealth of knowledge. If you ever need me for anything, y'all got my, line. You and Scotty hit me.
no
Absolutely.
problem.
Hey, I want to thank
Definitely a wealth of knowledge.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for sharing your audience with me and giving me time to share the truth. I apologize that I moved slow in the beginning.
Yes, sir. You weren't slow. You was emotional.
It's a lot. Like, I know I've sent you a lot over the past few weeks, T, and I want to thank you, and I thank Claudia Jordan, but my wife, my family for the support on this side of things.
Absolutely.
In the real world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. It's no problem. I want to thank you for having enough courage to come up here and speak your truth, because I know it's not easy dealing with people and all of their opinions and how they feel because of what they know about him. So I appreciate you for doing that. I absolutely adored your wife. I'm glad that I got to meet her and she came and took up for her man. That's what you're supposed to do. And
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate Sherry for coming up here, for looking out for your cousin, because that's what you're supposed to do. It's family over everything.
Always family first. Loyalty over everything. Love and loyalty.
Thanks, cousin.
That's right. So we about to end this live T7 Squad. Thank you guys so much for hanging up in here with us. It's going to be uploaded up here really soon. Thank you again, Scotty. And until next time, I'm going to holler at y'all later, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Night.
Bye, you guys.